Hi, and welcome to today's practice. Today we will focus mainly on our neck and the upper body. So, the upper back, the shoulders, and really work into that. It will be mostly a lot of stretches throughout today's practice. It's really meant to just alleviate any tension that you might be holding within the upper body throughout the neck and the shoulders. I know sometimes when I go to try other vinyasas, or if I maybe want to do a full class and really get into it, if I'm struggling in one area of the body, let's say if I have a lot of knots or tightness in my upper back, then I find that I struggle more in those areas when I'm trying to do an all out workout and try to get into it because I'm already sore and I need to recover from that first. So you can use this as a kind of a recovery or a relaxation practice to feel yourself open throughout the upper body. And I really encourage that to take some time for yourself, not just focusing on, I need to hit this workout really hard, but we do need some days where we just have some preparation and some restorative movement in with our bodies. So go ahead and come to a nice seated position, cross legs. You can sit on a blanket, or if you like, you could be up on a block. I do prefer the connection with the mat, going through some of these stretches in the beginning. A couple of props you could have, though, are the block and maybe a yoga strap for today's practice. So come to a seat. We'll go ahead and get grounded. Maybe close the eyes to start. The hands can rest gently on the knees. Feel the weight evenly distributed between the sit bones. Picture yourself sitting up tall as the spine lengthens and the crown reaches up towards the sky. You can have nice, easy, and normal breathing throughout today's practice. If you would like to incorporate your ujjayi breathing, that would be wonderful. But even as you sit here cross-legged, I encourage you to keep the navel drawn in and the core strong to support yourself. To start, we'll do with some half neck rolls. So take the right ear and start to lower that towards the right shoulder. It won't touch, just coming parallel to the right shoulder. Feeling the stretch throughout the left side of the neck. Your hands can stay on your knees. They can also come out to your sides if that feels a little better. From here, we'll start to roll the head down and forward. The chin is tucked slightly as you're rounding through the upper back. Now we're not slumping over with the shoulders. We're still sitting tall, feeling the sternum lift as you try to tuck the chin and perhaps meet the sternum with the chin. So you're feeling that engagement in the upper chest, staying lifted, but the rounding through the back of the neck. We're not forcing the chin down towards the chest, just a slight tuck. And you can tell that it's still easy for me to talk in this position, so I'm not closing off the throat. From here, we'll roll on over to the left side, taking the left ear to the left shoulder. Pausing here for a moment as we stretch through the right side of the neck. On the next exhale, we'll roll back down through center again, taking that slight chin tuck. And inhale, allow the right ear to come to the right shoulder. Go ahead and take a few of these at your own pace using your breath. Exhale as you lower the chin. Rounding. Inhale over to the left side, stretching along the right side of the neck. Take your time. Maybe pause in any areas that feel like they need a little time there. We'll do one more set. Ending with the left ear to the left shoulder. And you can roll back down to center. From center, we'll pause, inhale, return the head upright. From here, we'll take some head nods. And we'll start to take our gaze to the sky, lift the chin, dropping the head back. Only come as far as is comfortable for you. If you feel like you're straining or you may have difficulty returning the head back to its neutral position, maybe don't come up back quite as far. Return the head back through neutral. And again, we'll tuck the chin and look down. Here my back is straight and tall. We're focusing just on the neck, encouraging movement through our cervical spine, opening through the front of the throat as we lift. Stretching out the upper neck muscles as we lower down. We'll do that 3 more times. Go slow, especially as you take the gaze back. Feel the shoulders drop down your back. And that's the last one. Go ahead and return the head to neutral. From here, we'll take some more ear to shoulder stretches. Take the right hand out long, allow the fingertips to touch the mat. And then from here, you can take the left hand along the right side of the head as we drop the left ear over to the side. The purpose of the left hand is just to rest and allow a gentle weight along the right side of the head, encouraging a deeper stretch. Avoid anything sharp. Just allow the weight of the left hand to gently pull and encourage the muscles to relax. Never fight or force anything to happen here. Inhale up. Bring the left hand down, and you can take the left fingertips out to the mat. Bring the right hand alongside the left side of the face and drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Sitting up tall. Nice, big, deep breaths in. Feeling yourself release with every exhale. Fantastic. Release the hold of the head with the right hand. Bring the hands back alongside you. And here, go ahead and switch whatever leg you had in front, and we'll just change the position of the legs. I'm going to turn around to face the front of my mat. You can stay right where you're at. And from here, we're going to take some upper chest stretches. Take your hands and interlace the fingers like a little basket. Then draw the hands and bring them behind the back of the head. Again, our chest is tall, gaze is forward. And from here, we'll incorporate a little movement. Start to close the elbows. As you do so, round the upper back. Use the weight of the hands to gently draw the head down. And just rounding the upper back. We're still sitting tall, so the movement is smaller here, just throughout the upper back and the shoulders and the neck. On the inhale, come to upright. Open the elbows out as wide as you can take them. Draw the hands up, flip the palms up towards the sky. Maybe take the gaze upward. We'll do that a few more times. Hands come down behind the head. Elbows start to close inward. Exhale, start to roll the chin in towards the chest. Feel the weight of the hands start to gently draw the head down. On an inhale, come up, open up the elbows, take the palms, flip them to face the sky, and gaze comes up. We'll take that again. Hands behind the back of the head, closing the elbows, rounding forward. This is a great little move to use at your desk throughout the day. Open up the elbows, flip the palms up, gaze up. 2 more times. Hands behind the head, rounding forward, stretching out through the upper back. Feeling the upper traps start to stretch and relax. Last one. Exhale as you curl forward. Inhale the hands up to the sky. And from here, release the clasp and bring your hands alongside your sides. For the next stretch, we can grab or reach for our strap if you have one available to you. If not, take a towel or maybe even a nice scarf if you have one handy. And what we're going to do is we will grasp the elbows behind our back, like so. If this is difficult for you and you need more space, that's where the strap can come in. And maybe use the strap like this and hold it behind the back. Just to encourage yourself to open the front side of the body and to draw the shoulders back. Scapula is drawn together and down along the back. So find your prop and what works for you. Or clasp the elbows. From here, first we'll just start in a neutral position, drawing the belly in, pulling in with the navel, and also with the hands clasped or the elbows clasped tightly behind your back like this, there can be a tendency for the ribs to flare open, kind of like this, because you're trying to make space and trying to reach the elbows. Keep the ribs in, knitted in, and draw in with that core. So a neutral lumbar position. Otherwise, if we're sinking into the low back, you're going to exaggerate that curve in the lumbar, and then you might have a little more issues in that area. So stay strong and stay stable in the core. Draw the ribs in. Hold on to the elbows or your strap. And from here, we'll take those head nods again, looking up Gaze to the sky, only coming back as far as is comfortable. And then on the exhale, we'll look down towards the mat. And we'll do that about 5 times or so. Notice how this feels different from our head nods in the beginning of class. Opening up more through the front of the shoulder. We'll take 2 more. Really good. Go ahead and release the clasp that you have on your elbows. Maybe give your shoulders a little wiggle. From here, you can set your strap aside. You won't need that again. Tuck the toes and the legs underneath you, and we'll come into a wide-legged child's pose. So knees out at about as far as you can take them, maybe to the sides of the mat. The toes are together. Walk the arms out in front of you. Lower the forehead on down for your child's pose. Keep reaching for those fingertips. This is more of an active child's pose. Stretching and lengthening throughout the backside of the body. Maybe feel yourself grow by a 1/2 inch as we reach out long with those fingertips. At the same time, we continue to breathe and feel the breath travel down the backside of the body. Using the motion of the breath is such a great exercise to carry with you off the mat. Send it into those areas that need to open and they need to relax. From your child's pose, we'll come up shortly into a tabletop just to align and check our position. Drawing up through the core, the hips are directly over the knees, shoulders are, for now, over the hands, over the wrists. And we're going to come into our puppy pose. So the hips and the knees will stay where they're at. Walk the arms out in front of you. And then start to lower the chest towards the mat. Maybe take the forehead down and rest right here. Again, do the best you can to judge the hips should be over the knees, pressing the shins into the mat, reaching the chest forward and trying to make the connection. It may not come there, but that's the direction that we're looking to open through the front side of the shoulders. If you want, and if you feel like you can go deeper, you can also take the chin to the mat. And just holding here. Very good. Press up and release. Coming back through our child's pose. I'm sorry, not child's pose, to our tabletop. In tabletop, again, coming back and checking our alignment. Shoulders over the wrists. Fingers are spread out wide. The knees are about hip width distance apart, and we'll take a thread the needle pose. Inhale the right hand up into the sky. Exhale, draw the right hand down and underneath the left arm as our right ear rests onto the mat. Now, there are a few different shapes you can take here to help change the feeling that you have in your stretch throughout the back of the right shoulder. You can stay right here, which I find very nice, is you can press the left hand into the mat and give yourself some leverage to open up the back side of the right shoulder. Some people also like to take the left arm out and above them and use that position. Or, no, this is a little advanced and a little bit of balance is required for this. Take the left hand, wrap it around the right side, and maybe hold here. As you do this, you're pressing into the right forearm, encouraging the twist throughout the upper side of the body, and gazing up towards the ceiling. If you took the bind, go ahead and release. Draw the left hand back towards the side of the face. Push into that left hand. Inhale the right arm back to the sky. Exhale. We're back on our tabletop. Start to walk your tabletop over to the right so the knees stay in place. Just the hands are walking over to the right long edge of the mat. And we're taking a twist, kind of a lateral twist here in our spine as we twist our tabletop or bend the table. Walk the hands back into your neutral tabletop. Inhale the left arm up to the sky this time. Exhale it down and underneath the right arm for thread the needle pose on this side. Again, either push into the mat with your hand alongside the face, or take the right hand out and in front of you. You can stay there. Or if it feels good for you today, maybe wrap the right arm around and take the bind to the inside of the left thigh. Pressing that left forearm into the mat. We'll continue the stretch throughout this side of the left arm and into the upper back. Inhale the right arm up and bring it down alongside the left side of the face. Push into the right hand. And from here, we'll inhale the left arm up again as we complete the motion by bringing it back to our tabletop. From tabletop, we'll twist and bend the table, this time to the left side, and walk the hands to the left long edge of the mat. So the hips are still over the knees here, but we're just getting a nice stretch throughout the right side of the body, drawing in the navel. And go ahead and walk the hands back into tabletop. Allow the spine to come to neutral. One inhale here. On the exhale, start to walk the hands back and push yourself into an upright kneeling position. From here, we'll take just a small back bend. It won't be a full camel. Just take the hands to the lower back. Fingertips are pointing down. Engage the thighs. Press into the mat with your shins and start to draw the chest up towards the sky. Elbows are pulling back and towards each other. Maybe making this a very small back bend. Maybe coming back a little deeper. If you are coming deeper, make sure that you firm in through the front of the quads. protecting the lower back as you engage through the lower body. On an inhale, rise up. And from here, we'll go ahead and lower the hands to the mat, come up onto your toes, rock back onto your feet, and we'll take them about hip width distance apart, maybe a little further, as we lower down into Malasana or your yogi squat. You can take some movement here in your Malasana. We're just going to take a moment, do just a small amount of lower body and open up throughout the hips. Malasana can be really nice for the lower back, just to allow yourself to rest. Start to come to stillness in your squat. Maybe you're using a block and using that to support you or give yourself some height. We'll slow down here. Hands at heart center. Close the eyes and breathe. From here, take the hands just in front of you and we'll push them into the mat as we lift the hips. And we'll come up into a forward fold. Now the knees will stay very deeply bent in this forward fold because this is all focusing on the back side of the body. So, the upper back of the body. If we were to try to straighten the legs in the forward fold, we're mostly stretching out the hamstrings and the back side of the legs. But if you allow yourself to have some bent knees, you'll feel more of the stretch throughout the back. So from our forward fold, go ahead and clasp the elbows, let the head hang. Allow that weight through the head and the arms to stretch out alongside the back of the spine. And if you'd like, you can go ahead and rock the arms from side to side, using the breath to feel that movement and the space open up along the vertebra. Very good. Coming back to center, taking the hands in front of you, maybe moving the feet back out a little wider, and we'll sink back down into our Malasana. Hands can come to prayer. Feel the chest staying wide and open through your yogi squat. If it's especially difficult for you to stay open through the front side of the body as you squat, then you may want to make use of your props. Maybe come up a little higher on your block. On the next exhale, we'll release, allow the hands to walk out in front of you. We'll come back through our tabletop, from tabletop lower onto your forearms, and then walk the legs out as we lower onto the mat. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders now. The feet are spread out a little wider on your mat to make some room for your low back. Fingertips are spread out wide, and your chest is lifted in Sphinx Pose. In Sphinx, we feel the top of the thighs pressing into the mat, and we're actively pulling the elbows toward us, like we want to make a little wrinkle in the mat. There's no visible movement happening, but you can feel the direction of the elbows drawing towards your chest, towards your body. As you do so, your upper chest is still reaching for the sky, always looking for sunlight. The crown of the head is tall and our gaze is right out in front of us, so we're not closing off the neck. From Sphinx, take the hands and draw them so that they're just in front of your shoulders, so a little closer into you. Elbows bend as you inhale and exhale. Push into a Cobra Pose. In our Cobra Pose, the elbows are slightly bent. The gaze is directly in front of you. Breathing here. We'll twist our Cobra. Again, taking extra movement into the spine. Turning the head to the right. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, turn the head to the left. Maybe looking back behind you. Inhale forward. One more time each side to the right. And then back to the front. Last time over the left side. And then back to front in your Cobra Pose. From Cobra Pose, we'll go ahead and lower back down onto the mat. Chest all the way down, and we'll take our scorpion. And for that, you have a couple of options. I always enjoy having my arm out into a cactus shape to get a deeper stretch throughout the front side of my right shoulder. You may enjoy having your right arm out straight and feel how the stretch feels differently there. So try both ways, see which shape works for you, and work with that today. I'm going to take the cactus shape with my right arm. Allow my right side of the face to come to the mat. The right leg stays planted onto the mat as we roll over onto the right side. Maybe taking the left foot back behind you. And push into the mat with your left hand. Use the leverage to open. Ride the breath as you feel the intensity throughout the front side of the shoulder. Back out of the stretch slightly if it's too much. Good. Go ahead and roll out of that. Come back onto your belly. We'll take that onto the left side. So left hand or arm comes to cactus or else straight out behind you. Play with that. See what you prefer today. I'll take cactus. Take the left ear. Allow that to rest onto the mat as the left leg stays planted and we roll onto the left side. Notice the difference from one side to the other. On an inhale, release. Come back onto your belly. Place the hands just lightly in front of the shoulders. Push into the mat as we come back up into our Cobra Pose. Elbows are slightly bent. Feeling engaged through the thighs as they meet the mat. Protect the lower back by staying strong through the lower body. If you would like, you can take the hands out a little further away from you. Maybe come up onto the fingertips for seal pose. Adjust the position of the hands to find what feels and works for you. Now stay either in your Cobra or your seal, and we'll take a flow as we lower, bend the elbows. Come to the mat. Inhale, rise up. Flow with me a few times here. Curling through the upper spine, tucking the chin. The very crown of the head reaches last. Lowering down. Curling and rounding the spine as we lower. And then climb up. On the last one, we'll hold. If you are in Sphinx, take the hands to the mat. Walk them in a little closer to you. Elbows are slightly bent. From here, we'll lower. And we'll pause just above the mat. From here, lift the hands. Lift the chest. Bring it off of the mat for our low Cobra Pose. Ending strong here with a strength building practice throughout the upper body. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears, drawing them back and down the back side of your body. Hands just hover above the mat. Staying strong for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hands. Take them out in front of you and lower the forehead down to the back of the hands for crocodile. This is how we will spend the rest of our class. You do have the option of flipping over for corpse pose, extending the legs out long. Hands can come beside you, or just remain here in your crocodile with the head resting on the backs of the hands, allowing the legs to stay wide and just relaxing. Ending the class in crocodile is a great space to move inward, to further blot out any distraction. And with the elbows out to the side, maybe you feel greater relaxation throughout the upper body. And you can focus more on feeling the chest sink into the mat. Picture the skin throughout the upper back stretch. And slide down as the shoulders move down. And relax away. Feel the tension start to melt away from the sides of the neck.
Stay here as long as you feel like it. If you're ready to come out and you're in crocodile, we'll start to slowly lift the forehead. Take the hands underneath the shoulders. Push ourselves back. Allow yourself to come into a child's pose. Hands along the sides. Take just a quick breath here in our narrow child's pose. To bring yourself up to a seated position, use the hands, push them into the mat, and come upright. I'll scoop myself around back into the center and return to a nice seated position. Inhale the hands up to the sky. Draw the palms together and through heart center. Start to tuck the chin. Thank you. I'm glad that you took the time for this class today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Remember that it's always good to take time for these sorts of lessons for the body, to take time just to stretch and to focus on areas that need more recovery versus an active, heavy sweat session workout. You may find yourself getting more gains if you take a day or two throughout your week just to focus on stretching and recovery versus trying to make active gains every day with intense workouts. So take some time for yourself. Pay attention to where you feel you may need a little more love and care within your body. And if you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Have an amazing day. I know you'll make it a good one. Bye.